Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Farlands or Bust. This is episode 729 of the series. 729 of Farlands or Bust for your Wednesday, March 6th, 2019. I almost said 2018. Your Wednesday, March 6th, 2019. As we look to the east, Wolfie is getting impatient, so we're going to hop on a boat and head west here in Minecraft Beta 1.7.3 as we are continuing to those far lands. Some 8 years. That's right. It's been... It's been 8 years since episode 1. What eventually turned into Farlands or Bust, but back then was known as Minecraft Adventures, or Adventures in Minecraft. There were adventures happening in proximity to Minecraft. That's right, the first video I ever uploaded, a gaming video. I had other just random personal videos on YouTube, mostly astronomy related. But the first video of Minecraft, of a Let's Play, that I uploaded was on March 6th, 2011. And now it has been 8 years, and I can't believe it's still a thing. So yeah, 8 years, and we're still doing this series. Still have never died in this save, this world save, as a player. It's not part of the deal that I never said, I'm going to walk to the far lands and never die. It just sort of has accidentally followed us around like that. We've gotten close. We've gotten very close. But now there's a t-shirt at my TeePublic shirt store to commemorate the achievement, as Farlanders never die. Oh, I don't have an axe. I'm gonna need that. So let's make an axe. It's gonna have to be a stone one too. It can't be a stone one because I just threw away all my stone. All right, 8 years and I still don't know how to play the game. Oh man. So yeah, let's continue on here. Of course, for nearly as long we've been raising money for charity. This time we're raising money for direct relief charity at farlandsorbust.com, up to $23,769 nice $26 raised this season. Much appreciated. Like I said, farlandsorbust.com. That's where you can donate. Much appreciated indeed. So yeah, March 6th is officially, I think there's been some confusion. I'm recording this live on Twitch the day before, but it's more of a Kurt J. Mac, the YouTube story. No, Kurt J. Mac anniversary than it is a Farlands or Bust anniversary. While true, episode 1 was what eventually became this Farlands or Bust series, but it wasn't until March 28th in episode 11 of the series that we actually started walking west. We said, you know what? Enough of this building houses and enjoying the game as it was meant to be played. I'm going to walk to the far lands, he said, somewhat uninformed and ill-advised as to how long it would actually take. But that's all right. That's all right. So yeah, I think March 28th or thereabouts on the Twitch channel. Not a flobathon, but just kind of a floba anniversary-a-thon. We'll do some sort of live streaming situation of flob as a celebration to that, of which I will, of course, upload to YouTube later for archival purposes as we continue west here. So I do appreciate everybody who has stuck around since the beginning. A bunch of people in my Twitch chat were commiserating. Is that a good word to like communicating? About how, oh, I started elementary school and now I'm in high school, or now I'm graduating soon, in all the time that Farlands or Bust and my series has been going on. My channel, my YouTube channel and stuff. So yeah, way to make me feel old. Indeed. Indeed. So 8 years. Man. What a wacky thing to even consider. I started this. We're gonna do it's gonna be nostalgia time here and reminiscent time going on. If you're sick of that stuff, I'm very sorry, but there's a very long way to go, and it's really all I have are memories. So yeah, I for those of you who whoa, that was weird. For those of you who don't know too much of the story, I kind of just on a whim, like many people, all of our friends kind of just started because they were watching a lot of Let's Play videos, probably of Minecraft, and thought, that looks fun. I would like to try that. Or, I could really use some sort of outlet. Some sort of, it's like a journal, like a blog sort of situation. People always tell me I have a good radio voice, so I could try doing the commentary thing. It's not like people are putting face cams. Nobody sees your face during these videos, right? Back in 2011. So I just started. I went out. I bought a Razer headset microphone gaming headset, and bought a copy of Fraps. Recorded the episode. Failed, actually, the first time. What ended up becoming the Combat Canyon world is I tried recording, but then I messed up the settings, as we often do, starting off. And I don't have... Oh, there's my shears. I'm like, I don't have shears. Yeah, you do. So yeah, I had to abandon that recording and start anew, which is what became the Far Lands or Bust world. And then edited that video in Windows Movie Maker. Oh man, those were the days. Windows Movie Maker, and of course, back then, your videos had to be 15 minutes or less on YouTube. And away we went. Away we went. And even in this season UHC that's going up with myself, Co, and Avidia playing, we started to reminisce about back in the day about Fraps, and I was like, what is it? It was like F9. It was like the default button on Fraps to record, to start recording, stop recording was F9. And there was no visual overlay information that you were actually recording or not. So there were many a times when you'd be like, "Ah, nuts! I wasn't recording. I didn't press F9, or I pressed it at the wrong time, or whatever." Good lordy. But yeah, that's what it started as. And boy, in the past 8 years, have things changed on YouTube. We saw the rise and fall of MCNs, networks, gaming networks. I am sure to be corrected if I'm wrong, which I might be, but I do feel like gaming videos on YouTube are what made YouTube what it is now. Aside from the fact that the top channels on YouTube have historically always been gaming channels, I just think in general, because even when I started, I just thought it was a hobby. I never thought anybody would be able to A, make money, and B, make a full-time amount of money off of it. It wasn't until I started in March, it wasn't until July that I signed up, when I hit 10,000 subscribers, and I signed up for the recently newfangled partner program on YouTube, that ads and making money was actually a thing. But it was really, I do think, around the gaming channels and content where sort of the episodic videos and the audience, I think, found YouTube. Obviously, there's also a big, vlogger and IRL and produced content, but it all kind of happened around the same time. But I feel like the gaming stuff is where it really became obvious that, oh, Like, there's a lot of people watching these things. And yeah, that I think really exploded at like the right time for me. Maybe I even at March 2011 was a little bit late, I think, to being like first on the scene, I suppose. Um, but yeah, there was the rise and the fall of networks because, hey, you know where money is being made. The people try to make it for you and take it for you. So there was networks. Never signed up for a network. Never signed up for a network. Whether or not that was good or not, I know some networks and some friends had 100% pass-through revenue with their networks as opposed to YouTube's standard split. Good or bad? I don't know. Probably good, because I don't think they turned out too great. Machinima recently just shut down and deleted all, like, thousands of their videos on their channel. So that's fun. Oh, man. Let us continue to reminisce amongst a field of snowy pigs. In the morning. And old manness. Old manedness. Back in my day, there were these things called YouTube networks. And they took all your money, and then when they folded, they took down your channel with them. So yeah, we had the networks. Google Plus. Oh, boy. Google Plus was certainly a thing that it just became, and then it fell very fast. Well, I know what I needed to do. All right, keep an eye out for iron and just stone, because I need an axe, because I need more wooden planks. Yeah, that was a thing that was just really not great. Ad revenue used to be a thing. Remember ad revenue? I mean, maybe this is, again, getting a little bit meta towards the creators side of things. I always hesitate talking too much about this stuff because it doesn't apply to the viewers so much. But yeah, people still are, but people were, it was very decent, very good money for a while, just depending on the YouTube ads. We all saw the big bumps. Woo! All right, let's not go that way. Before Christmas, the holiday season, and then after like school got out in May, June. Boy, that was a dependable thing to depend on. Then what else? But then as that started to fall away, then the rise of Patreon. And I remember, I'm not saying I'm on the leading edge of everything, but I remember I was one of the first 100 Patreon users who took a plunge on the Patreon thing. And it's still going. It's still going. And I'm still, I think 8 years. Well, when did we start Patreon? 2013, 14? So yeah, not 8 years on Patreon, but yeah, that's still a thing. And obviously now Twitch. Twitch is kind of almost 8 years too, because I remember I set up my Twitch Justin.tv account so that I could do the first Flobathon on Twitch. And I remember back then asking to be partnered, and the only proof... Oh, I didn't mean to make that. I meant to make an axe. Dang it. I'm stuck in UHC mode. But the proof they needed was like, okay, I think at the time I had like 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. And they're like, okay, partnership. So yeah, it's going to be almost 8 years being partnered in one form or another on Twitch. Of course, we never thought Twitch was a thing that would rival or become a possibility of a full-time job. And it really wasn't until the sub buttons came, because the ads were never that fantastic on Twitch. But yeah, I mean, so much indeed has changed. all the, even like the gaming groups, Mindcrack, all that stuff, going through and actually finding audiences and people and friends. Yeah, a lot of stuff. Basically, a lot of stuff. The internet as a whole was very different 8 years ago. Yeah, it's I hesitate getting too deep into these things because I don't want to seem like I'm complaining, because obviously this is fantastic. I'm having a very good time, and just the fact that I've been able to do this full time for a little less than 8 years is beyond me, very much beyond me. But then again, I don't know what else I'd be doing. I was able to quit my job. Yeah, I guess aside from that, I, as a Kurt J. Mac, have changed. Hello? Mr. Marbles? Whoa, careful, Wolfie. Don't get burned. He's here to congratulate us on 8 years. He's dead. Thank you very much for your kind words, Mr. Zombie. I appreciate it. So yeah, I mean, heck, I've lived in 3 different states since then. I owned a condo, sold a condo, moved to Arizona. I mean, like I said, I quit my job. I was a web designer. It's kind of the quote-unquote career path I had been on since graduating college. I either wanted to be a graphic designer, ended up learning and teaching myself web design, and then that became more fruitful. But I never felt it. I mean, and again, I don't want to seem like, oh, I know many people have jobs that they particularly aren't passionate about, or they don't need to feel like they're changing the world, but that's kind of a case that I feel very lucky to be able to be doing this. So yeah, any sort of criticisms or complaints I have of the current state of things are not because I don't appreciate it, and I feel like I can speak for everyone. It's more about like wanting to maintain, and because it is something we enjoy so much, seeing threats or downward swings or cultural shifts are concerning, and we want to stay on top of and maintain the things that we depend on and what we love doing, and the people around us who do the same. And even for the audience. The audience has changed quite a bit. The age group, demographics, certainly a lot different than what is currently the age group demographics on YouTube or who are watching gaming videos. So, I mean, just, ooh, it's crazy. Everybody's 8 years older. So yeah, my own self went through a lot, and I've kept, and I will continue to keep my personal life pretty personal, but yeah, I was on a trajectory, and whether or not because of this and YouTube and streaming and just gaming and online stuff, whether or not this was the catalyst for a lot of the changes I went through, I don't know. Maybe I would have gone through the same changes. Maybe it would have taken longer. Maybe it would have happened even under different circumstances, better or worse, if at all. But yeah, I was on a trajectory with the career and owning a place and having a long-term relationship, and that got a bit jumbled up picking up and moving to Phoenix, and all the interviews and the Guinness World Records stuff, conventions, It really, I don't know. It all has an effect. All the people you meet and talk to and end up becoming friends with and stuff. And then a couple of years ago, I guess things went through a midlife crisis. Do we want to call it a midlife crisis? I don't know how old I'm going to be. Let's say 1/3 life crisis, and huge, big old changes, primarily with that long-term relationship. And then I moved away from Phoenix to here, and still trying to figure stuff out, and still doing this though. The YouTube and certainly Farlands or Bust has become sort of the constant, I suppose, if that makes any sense. But hey, that's could be dangerous. Wolfie? Wolfie. Okay. I could do it myself, but I don't believe Wolfie would make that jump. And the sun is setting anyway, so we got to make an elevated hidey hole. There's that extra 1 block of land right there at the sea level that I'm like, Wolfie's probably going to hit that, and I don't know how much damage he could take from that distance. So, well, we'll save that one for later. So yeah, whole bunch of stuff, and I don't know nor feel like I could ask for it to last another 8 years. But I hope so, like in some form or another, because I don't know what else I would be doing. I'm severely unqualified and underpracticed in all other forms of career. Indeed. But yeah, the sun is set, the moon is risen. Let's go to sleep and continue in the morning. And awakeness. And continuing onness. Oh, buddy. Indeed. Indeed. We saw in person, that was 2011, July 2011. We saw Juno launch. The spaceship, not the dog. Juno wasn't even alive. That's crazy to think about. And it's now at Jupiter, taking pictures, doing science. That's pretty crazy, right? We were also at the first SpaceX launch to the International Space Station. We missed the launch because it scrubbed at T-1 seconds. For that, NASA's social, NASA tweet up, or whatever they called them back then. But you know what just happened, friends? I got some space news for you. Dragon 2, the Dragon 2 capsule, the eventually to be used as a crewed capsule version of the Dragon capsule, launched atop the Falcon 9 and has docked at the International Space Station. So far, I believe it's going to stay there for 8 days. So far, everything seems to be a success for this first inaugural flight of the Dragon 2 capsule. It has a dummy on board in a spacesuit to measure the forces and vibrations and G-forces and things of launch and the eventual landing. And it docked. I didn't realize it was going to dock, but it docked. The Dragon 1 capsules, the cargo capsules, are berthed. They are berthed. That means they get close enough to the International Space Station, and then the onboard astronauts use the space station's, I knew that was going to happen, robotic arm to grasp the capsule and then manually pull it towards a, what are those things called? Hatch? Hatch. Let's call it a hatch. But the Dragon 2, the crewed capsule, docks, much like the space shuttle did, much like the crewed Soyuz does, and it does so automatedly. Basically, cameras and radar, it recognizes the hatch, and actually, without being grappled by the robotic arm, attaches itself to the hatch and then secures itself. So that's cool. I didn't realize that that was going to be a difference. I thought maybe like all the dragons. But I feel like maybe that's a requirement. I don't know for sure, but that might be a requirement of crewed vessels. And, yeah. So that's cool. That's cool. And it's going to land, well, not land, but it's going to splash down, not in the Pacific, but in the Atlantic. A few hundred miles off the coast of where it launched from, in Florida. That way, it can be recovered and returned to NASA right away for follow-up and testing and analysis and things like that. So that I didn't realize either. I don't know what its approach is going to be. I'm assuming that they're going to do their best not to have it approach over the continental United States. Perhaps it'll come up from the south through the Gulf of Mexico or something. Not sure exactly. I haven't looked at the track. And I'm sure that depends. Once it undocks and then orbits for a little bit and then does its re-entry burn. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that was the thing. I do remember SpaceX saying, oh, eventually it'll be able to land itself. But I don't know if they've nixed that idea in favor of focusing on the Starship, Mega Space Boy chip, whatever that thing is. The BFR. So yeah, that's neat. There's a whole bunch of changes. I mean, the whole thing about reusable rockets has happened in the past 8 years. That wasn't even an idea. Well, I'm sure it was an idea, but that wasn't even a thought in my head that was an eventual plan for SpaceX. Neat. Neat indeed. NASA nixed that idea. Ah, okay, the landing on land thing. That makes sense. That seems like that might be too much a risk with crewed capsules. So yeah, I think there's another test that still has to happen is they have to do a in-flight abort test. So I think like after 30 seconds of flight of the next launch, it's going to intentionally pretend like there's a problem with the rocket and do a abort where the capsule rockets away from the rocket and lands itself. And then there's got to be 1 or 2 more test flights. I think they still said before the end of the year is when they're planning on actually having an actual, once they get certified, crewed flight, as long as all the other tests go fine. Which, so far, fingers crossed. So far, so good. Neat. Neat stuff indeed. Dang, it's been 8 years and I still haven't gotten around to answering any of these questions. Maybe not 8 years, perhaps 30 minutes. Let's see here. This one seems significant. Eb asked, longtime viewer here, love all your content, but Flob has a special place in my heart. Keep those episodes coming. I'm trying. They're not as frequent as I would like, but we're getting there. Question, do you think SpaceX will succeed in landing humans on Mars? And will they do it before NASA does? What are your thoughts on private spaceflight? Greetings from Denmark. I don't know. I think... I don't know. That, I feel like I don't know all the specifications and funding and whatever and plans, but I feel like SpaceX would need the support of and partial funding from NASA to land a crewed capsule, a crewed mission to the moon, or to the moon, to the Mars. NASA, they still don't have a spaceship. Just like there are other commercial spacecraft from Boeing that are supposedly still being worked on to take crew to the International Space Station. The fact that NASA doesn't have a spaceship yet is, not concerning, but doesn't seem too possible. I mean, they're working on the Orion ship capsule network of space-faring rockets, and they're being built. But yeah, that's a tough one. Of course, we've all seen how recently the Mars One program. Remember Mars One, and how I was very, very skeptical of it from the beginning. Guess who was right? Me. I was. That was the private enterprise that said, we're going to send a settlement to Mars, and it's gonna be broadcast as a reality show, and that's how we'll fund it. All you have to do is send us $200 with your application, and we'll put you in the running to go. And I'm like, and they said, oh, we have an agreement with SpaceX, when all they had was a letter that said, basically SpaceX was like, well, yeah, if you pay us this X billion dollars or whatever it'll cost, and we have the capability, whatever, sure, we're a private company. But they didn't say, yes, we will absolutely dedicate ourselves to sending your people to Mars. Ended up, they made some millions of dollars from the application fees. Never got anywhere. Had quite a few people who were very adamant. No, they're really going to do it. This is actually going to happen. I believe them. But yeah, they went bankrupt, and they took all that money and left. So yeah, no, that's not the way it's going to happen. I tell you that much. I tell you that much, indeed. So will SpaceX versus NASA? I don't know. I hope it's not a versus. Like I said, I hope it's a collaborative thing. If SpaceX has the platform and the technology, then I hope NASA works with that in regards to potentially making it happen for everybody. For science, for NASA, for the world. Woo, look at this fun place where we're going to spend the night at the end of episode 729 here. Woof! I do declare it and proclaim such things as these. Thought about making it a 4-day episode, but we just had one of those, so gotta let my voice rest. Where do I... Oh, gosh. Ooh, it's another one of these Spire situations. Here we go. Boink. Oh, you know what I never did? I gotta leave a sign, don't I? I should have done that at the beginning of the episode, but I guess we'll do it at the end. Boink. Wolfie? Yeah, there you are. Hey, over here. Oh yeah, rude dude. Come. Oh, look at this. Look at this nerd. Ah, got him. All right. There we go. And... sorry, I do have quite a few questions. Y'all have been generous with the donations to Direct Relief Charity. So keep doing that at farlandserbus.com. And I appreciate your support for however long you've been here. 8 years or whatever. I do appreciate it. That's what I want to do. And I hope you continue to follow along. All right. So. Do I dare? Episode 729 for March 6, 2019. 8 years of Flob. Boink. We've done it. We've done it. Even though we just got done saying it wasn't really 8 years of Flob, it's more 8 years of me on YouTube and doing this, but whatever. All's well that ends well. You know what else ends well? This episode. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time. Wait, I messed up the month? Aha! Bamboozled. Did I mess that up? 5! Where did I get 5 from? Oh, episode 729. 03. 06. 2019. 8 years of Flob. Oh, I've got my own live editors. Oh, that's right. It's probably because today is the 5th. That's why, and not at all because I am brain broken. It's not. It's just because I thought March was the 5th month, and I'm weird. Because May is the 5th month. It starts with an M. It's very confusing. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Wolfie? Ah, Wolfie. Okay.